Hi, this is Chuck Oliver. Welcome to this week's Hidden Wealth Solution Review. Well, we just hit a new record for our debt and deficit. Folks, we have now in just a short 5 months surpassed 1.15 trillion. Now, this is not good news, folks, and I talk about this on Taxes Save Radio as well as Hidden Wealth Radio, and I want to teach you what you can do about it, okay? We understand that tariffs and taxes and the turmoil, right, that all this discussion is wreaking kind of havoc. In fact, some of our markets temporarily went into a correction area, being down 10% off of their high. Well, a lot of that can be controlled. I teach that in a different format. But one of the things we can for sure can control are our taxes. Now, it may not feel that way, but if you're someone wondering if, hey, if they close the door on still saving tax for 2024, folks, the door's still open, but you've got to act fast. Go to taxessaved.com. That's taxessaved.com. I'm going to ask you to please use the calendar request link. We've actually made some improvements on that recently, so you should be able to see it there. If not, you'll go through and enter how much you've saved towards retirement, especially if you're looking to do Roth conversion. That's very important for us to know to be prepared. And then it'll open up a calendar for you to be able to then pick the times that are still available. Now, some of you, and I think of Joseph and I think of Kelly, both of who we just met with, took advantage of this saving tax optimization plan analysis, which is a complimentary analysis request at taxessave.com. And here's what they learned, especially for those of you it had a higher income than what you projected either in 2024 before they close the door, right? There's still time to save tax. Or maybe that's projected to have a scalable higher income than maybe you're used to, or maybe you're getting bought out, or maybe you're selling assets, or you had a big capital gain already in this first quarter for 2025, while the Tax Cut and Jobs Act is still alive. And I say this thing is almost on life support at this point, because the tariffs in the short term, even Trump has said himself, right, is going to cause some discomfort. But a lot of people are predicting that discomfort could take a while. And with our debt already reaching record levels, and folks, that's not good news. Our debt's going up about $1 trillion every 90 days. And rates aren't going down, rates are going up. And they may go up even further in the short term because of the tariffs. Well, I want to teach you what you can do by going to taxessave.com. And this is exactly what Joseph and Kelly did. Joseph, who's only 48, and we're getting a lot of people referred to us by their older adult parents because they're seeing their adult parents worried about taxes or already encountering higher taxes in retirement, or maybe because they have to start drawing down on what we call their required minimum distributions. Joseph's only 48 years old. And I say only because that's younger than me and younger than a lot of our clients, but we're seeing a trend. And in his particular case, get this, imagine this. He has worked really, really hard. He saved $650,000 in he and his wife's 401k. But do you realize under conservative tax estimates and conservative growth estimates that over his lifetime, before he even saves another penny, and he's still working and he plans to continue to contribute, although contribute differently after meeting with us, he will pay over $1.3 million in taxes based on just what he saved already today. It's $650,000. So double the tax compared to the balance, and that's if tax rates don't go up, which they will. We can't get Trump a third and fourth term, although we'd love to, I think, hopefully. But at the same time, we don't even know if we're going to have the Tax Cut and Jobs Act extended through this year, right? Trump wants to make it permanent. Even some on the right want it to be temporary. And some on the right and predominantly on the left don't want it extended in any capacity. So we don't know what's going to pass, what's going to extend. But what we do know is what we can deal with right now in the here and now. That's why it's so important. Go to taxessaved.com. That's TAXES, saved, SAVED.com. It's a complimentary saving tax optimization plan analysis where you can learn the tax risk road that you're on. Kelly was a little different. She's in her mid-60s, and she saved $1.1 million. And that $1.1 million will be every bit of $1.1 million plus, because this was ran at conservative estimates. And that's why by going to taxessave.com, we want to run a custom analysis where we can learn what you've actually earned as a net return and what realistic tax rates will be, instead of it just defaulting to these conservative levels, so you can get a true picture. Because I do want to leave you with this resource. If you're worried about moving from IRA to Roth, which I talk about in my radio program this weekend, which can be found on your favorite streaming applications under Taxes Saved blog or podcast, Taxes Saved podcast, I talk about the fact that this is as low as many of us might see taxes for the rest of our living years. And we talk about by having this retirementtaxcalculator.com. Now that's retirementtaxcalculator.com. I know it's another website, but it'll let it default to a lower tax rate depending on what you choose, and a very defaulted to lower growth rate. And the taxes you won't like to see, but when you see the custom strategies that will run for you by going to tax-deferred.com and setting a time to review that, whether it's high income, like I think of a gentleman we met out of Tennessee just this week, where he and his wife have really built their business, and this is going to be a really big tax year. And while the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act is still alive, they want to save as much tax as they can in 25. And I think of a lot of you like Kelly and Joseph, right? Before they close the door on saving tax for 2024, folks, you can still act, but you've got to act now. taxessaved.com, taxessaved.com.